Hello, and welcome to 10-7 Off-Duty Podcast. My name is Andrew Straley, EMTP, and with me is Clyde.
Hello.
And this is a public service announcement. Get a hold of us on email, or get a hold of us on Facebook and Twitter, and buy the damn t-shirt, kids. Mediums, large, and extra large, still available. Get one. Please.
You know, you're going to keep pushing them to the point where like everyone's like, fuck it. I'm just going to buy one, and then everyone's going to buy one, and you're just not going to have any more.
That's fine. As long as I sell what I have, I'm happy.
Yeah, but then you're going to have disappointed customers.
Yeah, well, it happens. If they listen to the show, they're probably already disappointed. I'm going to even move it down $1. $12. You can't even buy a t-shirt at Walmart for $12. Shut up, Clyde. I don't care if you can or can't.
I was going to say, you haven't been in Walmart in a while, obviously.
I told this last week. I'm boycotting Walmart.
$7.55 before tax.
Still boycotting Walmart. Fuck that corporate ass bitch motherfucker. Welcome back. Thank you guys. We hope you had a good week and enjoyed the full moon that was wreaking havoc last week. If you survived, let us know. If you didn't, well then, sorry. I'm tired. It's nice outside.
Don't really know who you're apologizing to if they didn't survive.
They're ghost. Whatever. It's actually nice outside today. I have all the windows open in my house, so if you hear a car drive by, well, yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I heard kids playing in the park across the road, and not gonna lie, didn't realize your window was open at first. I was like, what the fuck is that sound? Sounds like happiness.
I don't know what that is anymore. I'm a husk of a man.
It's been so long.
I don't have a soul, so fuck it. Yeah, I
sold that to my most recent employer.
No, I just didn't have one anymore. EMS will suck the soul right out of you. You know why black is my favorite color? Because it's the same color as my soul. Yeah, my cat's being weird, and I'm just hanging out in the fucking window like a special needs cat that he is.
There's a pretty famous movie quote from the Joker saying, he's like, you're like a dog chasing a car. You don't know what you're gonna do with it when you catch it. I've noticed that cats, like every fucking cat I've ever met is like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single one of them that I've ever met, like wants to get outside, but once they get outside, terrified.
Fuck this shit. It's too much world.
I want to go back inside, especially if they've been domesticated their whole life. Like two of my cats were actually alley cats. One of them wasn't even old enough to be away from its parents when we got it.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
Yeah, Guinevere, little shithead. But Merlin, the oldest one, he was an alley cat for over a year.
Oh, no shit.
And oh man, when he and I first met, we did not like each other. Now he's my favorite cat in that house. You know why?
Because he doesn't give a fuck?
We ignore the shit out of each other. We forget the other person lives in that house.
Yeah, I get that.
Like he'll pop up for every once in a while. I'm like, oh hey, you're still here.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where the fuck you been at?
Figure Tasha like forgot the door open or something one day.
What you been hiding under? That's the one thing that I don't like about when cats die. They do that weird thing where they just find a corner and die.
Well, when a cat dies, they actually find the most familiar thing to them.
Why is it always a corner then?
They probably hid there a lot.
Mm.
Like my first cat, Pepsi. Yeah, that was her name.
You named a goddamn cat after a pop?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I was 4 years old when my cat was born. And
your parents asked
3 years
you,
old. 3 years old.
what should we name the cat?
No.
Patsy.
No. I was 3 years old when the cat was born. My cousin Jimmy nursed that cat back to health. Like bottle fed it and everything. Like because it was baby mama bandit like the first week it was born.
Right.
And my aunt was obsessed with Pepsi. Like obsessed.
Crazy obsessed?
Oh,
okay.
Like, you know those like Coca-Cola fans like collect Coca-Cola memorabilia?
Yes.
Pepsi equivalent.
Really?
Absolutely. I didn't know they made
Actually,
them.
the funny thing is, the Pepsi shit is worth more than the Coke because you can't find the Pepsi shit. Thank you, American pickers, for that knowledge.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I'm going to have to keep my eye out for Pepsi shit now.
Like
But,
the old school Pepsi...
like the old school
the
logos?
stand-up, like the stand-up Pepsi machines and shit. Yeah. Those are worth apparently twice as much as the Coke machines.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
See, my mother-in-law and I are both obsessed with Coke. I've got to figure, dude, if I'm not drinking a bottle of Coke, usually there's Coke inside that Polar Pop that I bring here.
Really?
Yeah.
He's talking about the drink, kids, not the line. Not the white shit.
But anyway,
Kids comes from America. That comes from Colombia.
she named the kitten Pepsi. Well, that cat was absolutely my cousin Jimmy's.
Really?
And as we all got older, he moved out, and they couldn't keep the cat, so we got it.
Right.
And the cat was my cat at that point in time. Like, I hung out with it, played with it. She started getting a little older, and she was actually bitten by a brown recluse. Yeah, we didn't know what it was, and it wasn't until after she died that we finally figured it out.
One of the two horrible arachnids of death.
Yeah, and very common in Illinois.
Yes.
Oh yeah, like you could find brown recluses in your house.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which scares the fuck out of me a little bit.
Yeah, they're freaking horrible. But by the way, anyone who doesn't know what a brown recluse is literally a flesh-eating spider. When it bites you, the venom in its pincers,
It's called necrosis.
it will actually
necrotize your tissues.
it kills your flesh. There you go. None of that fancy speak.
What
It zombifies you.
what did 10 years in EMS get me? Big words.
I was a correctional
and
officer,
a little
dude.
bit of PTSD.
I was a correctional officer, man. My whole day revolved around using as small and as few words as I could.
Yeah. My day was $10 words. Your days were 25-cent words. Or whatever the fuck you could get off
Nickels.
a commissary.
Nickel words.
Ramen.
Thank you.
Sausage.
It is pronounced ramen. All you idiots out there keep calling it ramen noodles.
Or if you want to fancy it, remain. That's a lettuce. Never mind. Fuck it.
Anyway, back to what I was saying.
I'm not funny today, kids. Sorry. Hi.
You're never funny. Anyway,
Fuck off, Clyde.
but she went and she got bitten by a brown recluse. And I'm like, oh man, that really sucks. Well, one day I get home, my grandmother's like, yeah, Pepsi finally kicked the bucket. Okay, where
Literally?
is she?
In a bucket?
No, she was actually in her litter box. Yeah.
That's not
she's-
funny, but that's
when she-
fucking funny.
When she started going, her nose started going. She couldn't smell anything. Like she couldn't even smell her food. And so, evidently, the only thing that she could find that she could smell that was like,
Was her shit?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, God.
Because how strong the smell was. Like,
Ugh.
she could still smell it. And that was the only place that she knew.
Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, like, she'd lived in that house for years, but that was the only place she knew.
That's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
That's sad, but it's weird.
It sucked.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Hugs.
That actually leads in one of the funny stories I ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What would that be?
I think I may have told it on the air before, but I'll tell it again real quick. That night, because we didn't have a shovel, so I could bury her, I went to Walmart to pick up the supplies I would need to bury her.
Okay.
And I was also dating a girl at the time, and we were relatively frisky.
Did you have sex in Walmart?
No.
Did you get roadhead
I
on the way to Walmart?
I got to the. I hope not. Of my brother-in-law gave me the ride.
Close your eyes, buddy.
But no. I get up to the checkout counter, and when I get up there, I realize how bad the assortment of items I had were. I had
Duct tape.
I had hiking boots. I wore black boots all the time.
Yeah.
I had hiking boots. I had trash bags. I had duct tape, but that's only as I needed duct tape.
I'm so glad you added duct tape to that list of things right there.
Why?
Because it makes it that much better.
Yeah, no, I had duct tape.
Condoms.
A box of 36.
Damn. Holy shit.
Yeah. And so yeah. I go ahead and I get up to the counter, and like I said, I have duct tape, garbage bags, hiking boots, a shovel, condoms, and I throw it on. I throw it on the conveyor belt, and the lady looks down.
Hydrogen peroxide.
And then she looks down, looks at the items, and just looks at me, and goes, wide eyes, and I'm like, I look at her, I'm like, in my head, I'm just like, what? I look down, I look at her, I'm like, oh God. So this is what I do to try to make it better. Grabbed a pack of gum. I'm 17, dude. I'm still an idiot.
I've got two weird ass stories. Uh-huh. One involves cats and one involves condoms, not together.
I hope.
So, I own my own house. I like my little house here. I did not really want the house. I just wanted the garage when I bought the place. Because the garage is big enough to hold all my toys and my tools and all that shit. And it allows me to work on things in the wintertime. Because it's heated. And in the summertime, it's air conditioned. Because I have two large window air conditioners that do quite the good job of keeping it nice and cool. Cat, stop it. Fuck it. Me. So when I moved into the place, the previous owner just left all the shit that he didn't want. So, like, there was a very large, very 80s refrigerator in the garage that I never looked in or anything. It was just kind of taking up space, and I never wanted the thing in there to begin with. But one day I was like, I'll just use it as a
beer fridge.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, I was going to use it as a beer fridge. I just, I hadn't looked in it since I had moved in, and so I was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to start cleaning it up. Well, apparently this guy didn't use it that much either because it had been unplugged for quite some time due to, as evident by all the dust. So I open the fridge and I start cleaning it a little bit, and I pull out one of the, like, crisper drawers that was in the bottom.
Right.
Black plastic bag. Like,
uh-huh.
I'm like, I wonder what the fuck's in here. I opened said black plastic bag. There is a cat that had been dead for quite some time, but not quite long enough that it was completely gone. It was like a puddle in the bottom of this black... Yeah. I'm a medic. I smell a lot of bad things. That one made me gag. I was like, bleh. So at that point I'm like,
It's kind of smell that like stays in your nose.
Yeah. It's almost like a GI bleed smell, but worse, like a dead GI bleed. Anyway, so yeah, at that point I just said, I am not going to ever put anything that's going to touch my lips in this refrigerator, because if I do, I am probably going to throw up every fucking time. So yeah. And actually, I found somebody who to take it away for free. Thank God. I left the cat in there. Yeah. And then my other condom story. I found out early on in my EMS career, because anybody who is in EMS has to go get a TB test done, right?
You got to get one through corrections, too.
Yeah, once a year, every year, get your TB test.
Yep.
Get your shot afterwards, whatever the fuck. Well, when I would get mine, they would send us to the county health department to go get it done.
Man, I feel so lucky.
Why?
When we got ours done, we just went to healthcare inside the prison, and the nurses did it.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was friends with the nurse. They'd be like, I'd walk in. Well, actually, I was stationed in healthcare at the time, and I walk in, and I was like, Oates. She's like, what? Stick me. She's like, what? TB time. She's like, oh. With pleasure.
Yeah.
She gave it to me the next day, and I'm like, Oates! What? Look at my bump. She's like, she rubbed her hand on my arm. She's like, you're fine.
Health department nurses are dicks, because they deal with shitty people all day long, and they don't have time for your bullshit. That's all I'm saying. But one of my partners, who was kind of I'm going to say horny bastard, but he was an older horny bastard.
Okay, he was ornery.
Yeah.
There you go.
he let me know on a little secret that every time you go to the public health department, get a free brown bag full of condoms.
You told the story on here.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh my god, condoms were showing up everywhere on all the ambulances I found for weeks after that. It was so good. I never used the condoms for fucking, I used it for pranks. I don't know if I necessarily trust public health department condoms.
I was actually just gonna make a joke about that because when I first started, like the first 2 or 3 times, they were like public health care condoms, lifestyles.
The first time you started sex?
Yeah.
Or corrections?
No.
Okay. No, I was very confused.
When I first started fooling around.
When you first started
lifestyles.
Porking.
Yeah. Well, last week I was cleaning out my garage. When you first started
spamming our beats, if you know what I mean.
That is the worst analogy I have ever heard.
It made me laugh, so fuck it.
Cleaning out my garage. Now, all my grandmother's stuff was in there. Cleaning it out, getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and I find this box. It's like a pencil case. I pop it open, and I'm looking through some old stuff. It was mine. I'm like, okay, cool. And I haven't seen this shit in 10 years. I'm looking through it, and it was fucking worthless, like baseball cards, and they're all penny cards. I mean, like, I looked that shit up. But I get to this eyeglass case, just like the real thin, like felt ones.
Yeah.
And I grab it, and I'm like, there's something in there. Oh my god. And I turn it over, and I shake it, and a lifestyle pops out. And I started cracking up. Because that's how I would hide it from my grandmother. So that's where I would stuff my condoms.
Jesus,
man.
man.
Because I grew up, like, my grandmother raised me, and, like, she did not need to know that I was fooling around already. Like, man, she would have beat my ass. And I was, oh, man. And I just remember I saw it. I started cracking up. I was like, hey, baby, look at this. I just put it back in there. She's like, what? And I was like, put your hand. She's like, okay. And I shook her hand. She's like, seriously? So I was like, yeah. She's like, did you used to use Lifestyle? Yeah. Do you have any other kids I should know about? Like, damn.
I don't have any children. And with the amount of porking I did when I was growing up, probably should have by now. Dodged that bullet. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was pretty safe.
You've told this story. Your sister was your cautionary tale, as it were.
Jessica, that's my sister's name, and her oldest son Nathan. You were the reason, Jensen. Didn't happen until I was 23.
That makes me feel even older because I'm already 30 and I have no want to have children. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because it's a shitty fucking world we live in.
Fair enough. Hey, I honestly tell people, I don't try to change their mind. They're like, well, I don't want kids. I don't like kids. I'm like, well, I'm going to let you know, man. Being a dad's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm like, oh, you should want kids. I'm just saying that's how I feel. It's the greatest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
You know, if you change your mind 10 years down the road, that's no big deal. Believe me, my mother had me when she was 39.
And guess what the best thing about that will be? Children's discount and AARP discount at the same fucking time. Yeah.
Like I said, my mother had me when she was 39. So believe me, I've got brothers older than some of my friends' parents. I wish I was joking about that. One of them's 47, one of them's 49.
Jesus.
Yeah, those are my brothers.
Fuck, man.
There was a 21-year gap between myself and the younger of my 2 older brothers on my mom's side.
Does that make you feel weird that he could drink when you were born?
Not really. Not really.
I mean,
he shouldn't have been drinking. Believe me, I do. Fucking never mind.
Another cautionary tale that we need to know about. Okay.
No.
Fuck, man. Yeah, I'm so glad it's nice out. That just means I can do summer things.
Okay, so there was something I was going to tell you about.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, just to give you a little bit of a backstory. Now, if you've heard this, don't say anything, because then other people may not have heard about this yet. Okay, back in 2017, a woman was arrested because she had a .22 caliber long rifle single shot. She had a bolt action rifle.
I read this recently.
In her home. Okay?
Yes.
She was arrested because she did not have a FOID card. For anyone out there that doesn't know, Illinois is a FOID state. Illinois is a FOID state.
If it was a Ford state, it'd be a lot better, but it's a FOID state, so everything sucks.
It would suck either way. Anyway.
Fuck off, Clyde.
But it's a FOID state. You have to have a firearms ownership identification card to own a firearm.
Yes.
So, the judge ruled in her favor, saying that it was fine.
Right.
And lack of a better term, this is a term I use, gun grabbers threw a fit.
Yeah.
They're like, no, it's against the law. She still have a FOID card, blah, 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 blah. Well, they pushed it so fucking much that the judge finally just said, screw it. And he sent an appeal to the Illinois Supreme Court.
I heard this was going to the Supreme Court.
There have been 2 appeals or 2 extensions on this appeal. There's only one left, and that is set for April. But so far, the argument was, and I agree with this wholeheartedly, a FOID card is unconstitutional.
Yes.
Because since the Second Amendment is a right, we should not have to pay to have the right to bear arms. Now, you do have to pay to own a FOID card. You have to spend like $15 or something like that, 10, 15 bucks.
And I read recently that they were trying to make it so instead of being every 10 years, it was every 5 years. Instead of $50, it would be $100. So instead of being $10, it would be $50 or something like that. They were gonna like 125% raise the price for, which is fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, I know, absolutely, I agree with you. And so they sorry, I lost my train of thought right there.
It's okay.
It
gets off the rails every once in a while. Sometimes it gets back on.
It does. It's unconstitutional. Not only that, it's impossible to comply with.
Right.
When you think about it, if you look at FOID laws, they say that you have while you own a firearm, you have to have your FOID card on you at all time. It is impossible to have your FOID card on you 24/7.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And not only that, technically, my son at 2 years old is breaking the law. He doesn't have a FOID card.
Right.
And there's a firearm in my house.
Yep.
Yeah. My wife's not. She's good. She's got a FOID card.
They did amend that, so if you have your CCW, you don't have to have the FOID card on you. You just have to have your CCW card.
Yeah, but still, it's one of those things where it's impossible to comply with. And on top of that, it is unconstitutional. Like, you do not have to pay for your rights.
Mm-hmm. Constitutional carry is the best thing, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's only one other place it can go to appeal after Illinois Supreme Court. The United States Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Yep. And come on, 46 other states do not have FOID cards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it goes all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, they're going to look in and be like,
fuck you.
Seriously?
Yeah. I this year has been fucking weird. Like, yes, I agree that constitutional carry should be a thing. Of course I do. Gun guy. Who wouldn't be? You have the right to protect yourself from, threats both foreign and domestic.
Is Illinois a stand your ground state?
It's a castle state, I believe.
Defend your castle.
Yeah,
you have the right to
and I think it is a stand your cat. I believe it is a stand your ground state. But here's the thing: is I've heard of a lot of people who have been arrested in this state for being on their property with a firearm that they legally own, even though the CCW and FOID laws state that you are allowed to, and it's actually written in the state law because I looked it up whenever I was getting my CCW. You are allowed to, what does it say? You're allowed to use whatever force necessary if you believe a forcible felony is being perpetrated on your property. So basically they're saying if you believe somebody is, breaking and entering or anything like that, you're allowed to use whatever force is necessary to get rid of that threat. But people have been fucking arrested and
That
prosecuted.
doesn't mean cap the Girl Scout for knocking on your door.
Right.
That does not mean that.
That means at like 10 o'clock at night, you hear glass breaking on your property and you go outside with your firearm, like, come on now.
You have the right to answer your door with a loaded shotgun.
Yes, you do. But that's the fucked up thing is people have been prosecuted for that.
Mm-hmm.
People have been shot for that. Like, somebody comes knocking on the door late at night, you don't know it's a cop, you come to the door with a gun, and some trigger-happy rookie is like, pop, pop, Like, it's fucking stupid. I actually watched a video of it. Some dude was on the job for 2 days. This was his first time out without an FTO, and they were looking for somebody. So he goes into somebody's gated backyard, knocks on the back door, no answer. So he starts walking away. The owner of the house comes out with with his Glock, I think it was, and because he was holding a gun, the rookie shot him tried to shoot him 3 times, missed both. Like, the dude got lucky, but still.
Tried to shoot him 3 times, missed both?
Yeah, missed all of them. Yeah. You can hear the cops shoot 3 rounds off. Like, they ended up in the wall behind the guy because he was able to
that is
duck
a
out of the way.
lawsuit. That is a massive lawsuit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you.
Oh man. Actually, there was one that the story itself didn't irritate me. It was how it was worded that irritated me. Evidently, there was a man, 61 years old, who, you remember those red flag laws we were talking about a while back?
Yes. The ones that basically
cops,
say anybody that says.
Well, actually, I did read up on them a little more. They've reiterated that it has to be law enforcement, like a judge,
okay,
or somebody legal,
right,
in the legal field. Sorry, law enforcement in the legal field of any kind, like a judge, a lawyer, anything like that. Family member or friend.
Really,
can't just be anybody. And like, I can't call on your neighbor.
Right.
Okay.
Friend is kind of a broad term, though.
I think you have to be. I'm not really sure how they legally define that.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, say somebody gets pissed off because you say something that they don't like, and they know you're a gun guy, and then you're not friends anymore, and then they call. Technically,
right. Yeah. Well,
so that's broad.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think they actually do have a legal definition for it. I think there's like a certain amount of time,
Right, yeah.
frame, stuff like that. You have to prove that you're actually on good terms, shit like that. But anyway, this guy answers his door when the cops come to seize his firearms with a firearm. When he puts it down, when the police officers tell him he's there, he goes for it. They wrestle him. A shot goes off.
Okay.
And they put 2 in his chest. Put him down. Killed him. Yeah, killed him. Now, it irritates me because he was killed.
Right.
But I don't believe the police officers did anything wrong. He should not have gone for his gun again.
Right.
At that point in time, he should have been like, that's bullshit. I'm going to fight this. But let them take the firearms at that point in time. It's not worth losing your life over.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Not at that point in time. Now, I'm a huge Second Amendment fan, but there are legal ways to do this. Like, you're
right.
just asking for problems if you decide you're going to go out fucking kamikaze.
Right.
Now,
a quick aside to this, though. Okay. My statement to that is 100% correct. You shouldn't lose your life over something like that. You can legally go after it. But somebody I heard say that a lot of the legality in the United States these days is really a revolving door, and it's a revenue for whatever county or state that you're in, which is bullshit because every time you have to go to court, you have to either take up your own time and possibly pay you should be getting for whatever time you're there, or they fine you or make you pay court costs to go back into it because they're wasting your time, or they're that's the thing that gets me. And I've heard a lot of cops say that too. It's like, it's shitty because it's a revolving door, and it's that's how the fucking state or county makes money.
Yeah. Well, now I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate from some Second Amendment rights guys for saying that he should have just given his firearms up.
Right.
But the only reason I say that is because I'm sure you've all heard this before. Hindsight is 20/20.
Well, not for him. He's dead.
Well, after the fact.
And cold dead hands actually did come into account.
After the fact, he should have just given up his firearms because he knew we know he's gonna die.
Right.
Knowing that he was gonna die, he should have given them up. Now, if there would have been a possibility of where, maybe he was arrested, something like that, and he didn't lose his life, I would have been like, well, good for him. He stood his ground.
Right.
But he died, so I'm saying he probably should have just given up his firearms at that point in time.
Yeah.
Anyway, the part that irritated me, really pissed me off in the whole story, was when they said, quote unquote, whoever filed the original claims is still unknown.
Wow. That's
how the
fuck
up. Like what do you mean it's unknown?
How do you go to see
like
somebody's shit?
even the officers? That was a quote from the chief of police there. The person that made the claims is unknown. How did you go after this guy's firearms if you didn't know who made the claim?
Yeah, how can you legally make a claim against somebody if you aren't known?
Like, that is shiesty as hell right there. Like,
yeah,
like really.
Not
really.
Not
that's not cool.
That's yeah. Well, that's the thing. That I am behind. Good cops. Always have been. Always will be. There are some shitty ones out there. Sorry if you are one, but hopefully if you are one, you're not listening.
If you are a shitty, this is a good test.
Yeah.
If you just got pissed by that statement, chances are you're a shitty one.
I get the same feeling, about that, because I think anybody who comes into your own property to remove weapons from you, if you aren't a violent felon, is wrong. I mean, that's my own personal opinion. But the other thing that bothers me, there are the videos of officers going onto people's private property, and they have a dog. Mm-hmm. Now, I have 4 dogs, okay? And I love my dogs. Okay, my dog guy. Oh, yeah. I'm not a cat guy. The cat's just here.
Sorry, potato cat.
Yeah. But whenever you see like a cop, like the body cam footage of a cop jumping somebody's fence because they're quote unquote looking for somebody, and the dog's in the back, fenced in backyard.
I mean, there are such things outside dogs.
Yeah. And the cop shoots the dog because they think it's a threat. Well,
it wasn't a threat until you just made yourself a threat.
You don't live here. He does. This is not your property. Just because you have a badge on doesn't give you the right to just go into somebody's property just because you think you should, in my personal opinion. And that's the thing is, most of the ones that piss me off are the ones that, and there have been some that, okay, there's a dog in the yard so they don't go in, or they, jump out of the yard. Okay, that's perfect. Because if you're looking for somebody and there's a dog in the yard...
What about one of those really shitty situations where you outrun the dog and there's a dog in the next yard? Like, oh, fuck!
But my thing is, if you're looking for somebody and there's a dog in the yard, good chance that whoever you're looking for is not in that fucking yard because there's a goddamn dog in the yard. So, there was one video I saw where the...
Or if the dog is barking at the opposite fence, chances are
he went that way. Yeah.
Go out to the alley and keep running his ass down.
There was one video I saw where this little chihuahua was barking in some dude's front yard, and this guy was videoing it on his fucking cell phone or whatever because he was wondering why the cops were out there. And the cop comes up to him and goes, "Is this your dog?" And the guy goes, "No." And he goes, "Well, the neighbors say it's yours and it's barking and it goes in their yard, so you need to do something about your dog. It's not my dog." And the cop shot the dog on the yard and in the front yard, like 5 foot away from the guy. I'm like, okay, that's reckless endangerment and discharge of a firearm. So
yeah, no, that is absolutely a lawsuit, and I really hope the guy sued that cop.
And that's the thing that gets me is, there's all these shitty stories of like, a cop shooting a dog or a cop taking somebody's weapons or whatever.
Most cities, most counties even, have people to handle those situations. It's called animal control.
Yes.
I mean, they're
It's in the name. I'm just saying.
like, it's kind of hard to figure out, but I'll spell it out for you. They control animals.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more simple we can make that.
Well, and like I said, I'm not knocking all cops. I never will, because I do support the good cops. But it's those shitty videos that show up, and that you see all the
One of my
crappy ones.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite sayings of all time. It only takes one turd in the punch bowl to ruin prom.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's say that there are 12%.
Let's be real
10,
honest.
12%.
The turds always come to the top.
Oh yeah. There's 10 or 12% of police officers that are bad in the world, or in the United States. I mean, that's still 88
Those are the ones,
to 90% that are still good cops that are taking the heat for these 10 to 12%.
Those are the ones that watch Roadhouse and beat off the 10 to 12.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, exactly. They're it's the bad ones that get all the publicity.
Yeah,
really,
absolutely. And it really is sad when you think about it. Like, we've talked about this before. There is a narrative. You see all the bad officers that are getting all this publicity, and there are really good officers. I mean, shit, there's a couple that are in our town, well, in the town,
in the area,
yeah. And there are 2 police officers that promised the kids in the projects area we were talking about a while back, that if the kids stayed out of trouble, they would throw them a pizza party.
Nice.
The entire season they stayed out of trouble. You know what they did?
Pizza party.
They went to Little Caesars and ordered something like 15 pizzas.
Nice.
Oh, dude, man. They went over to the apartment complex where all these kids hung out.
Yeah.
They went over to the park benches, and they're like, boom, pizza party. We didn't have to talk about any of you.
That shit.
And exactly. Like, I think they got like a 3-paragraph story in the local paper.
Right.
Like, oh, come on. That shit should have blown up.
Yeah, exactly. That should have been front page, And,
like,
in my opinion.
That's the thing is, like, these guys didn't have clearance to do this from their commanding officer. They didn't have.
They just did it on their own dime.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, they didn't have any excess money set aside from the city to do this. They did it because they were like, listen, this is our beat. This is what we're gonna do.
Right. Being good dudes.
Exactly. And now these kids are gonna be like, you know what? Not all cops are bad.
Exactly.
And they're gonna remember that shit growing up.
Well, and on the flip side of that conversation about some cops are bad, not all cops are bad. Some people are just shitty in general. The ones that you see the videos of them like yelling at cops when they're just trying to do their job and all that shit. Like, that shit is just, that is fucking
some of my favorite fucking Antifa videos. Grant, I will say I do have favorite Antifa videos.
My favorite is the Antifa CPR video, because that shit is just fucked up.
No, my favorite Antifa videos are the ones where they're sitting there screaming "fuck the police" and all this shit and all this stupid shit, but as soon as somebody gets cracked in the head with a bat, call the cops. Oh my God. Like, motherfucker, you better be glad that they swore an oath to protect you, or I swear to God, they'd be like, oh, they're already down, hit him with the baton.
Right, exactly.
Crack him again. Take his wallet.
Funny enough, I don't know if I told this. This actually happened recently. I live in a small town. I don't live.
Yeah, there's like
big
3 people in a popsicle stick they call mayor.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's a small town, and you don't have people like trespassing in your yard most of the time. It's very rare that you see. It's mostly kids that are like cutting across from one house to another. One night I was out in my garage working on something, and all of a sudden I saw somebody walking past the window. I don't know. Did I tell this before? Did I? Yeah. The cop that showed up with his canine was just cool as shit, because I called the dispatch and let them know. I was like, hey, if you guys are looking for somebody just walked through my yard. That doesn't fucking happen, 'cause it's 10 o'clock at night and it's dark. That just doesn't fucking happen unless somebody's looking for trouble. But yeah, the canine officer came up. He was talking to me. And he was one of those very polite people. He didn't want to come into the yard unless I gave him permission to go in the yard and all that stuff.
Watch out for landmines.
Yes, exactly. I told him,
out
I was
of the
like,
back end of a dog.
yeah. I mean, you have a dog, sir. You know where they come from. And I have 4 dogs, so
There's a lot of them.
yeah, that's why I need to
change my
mowing.
dog's food. Went out to my backyard the other day. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Was that second constitutional thing? Was that what you were talking about earlier? You're like,
Yep.
oh, I've got to talk about it.
Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you about that because I didn't know if you knew about it or not.
I saw something on it, which is, I mean, that's cool, but I don't know where the hell they're gonna go with it. That's my only thing.
Well, I mean, honestly, the last time gun grabbers in Illinois decided to push something this far is when they tried to push banning tasers. And it went to the Illinois Supreme Court, and that was not that long ago. And the Illinois Supreme Court was just like, "Are you fucking stupid?" Mm-hmm. And it was like, "No, throw this shit out. It's still legal."
Yeah, I believe they said that it's legal to carry it without a
permit.
Permit, yeah.
And you don't have to have a FOID card because that's one thing they were trying to do. They were trying to ban them or get them restricted on their FOID,
which is so fucking stupid. It's a
I
goddamn
know.
taser.
Yeah,
I made one out of
I've had
batteries and a fly swatter.
That's probably illegal.
No. That's an experiment, and it worked, motherfucker.
I couldn't move for 3 days.
No, the bit redneck that tased himself in the balls couldn't move for 3 days. I've told that story. Anyway,
there's a small town in Georgia that if you live there, you're the head of household, and you're legally able to own a firearm, you're required to own a firearm. You know what the crime rate is there?
probably less than us.
2%.
Yeah.
That is insane. I'm just saying, the places with the least amount of gun control and the most amount of gun education
Yeah.
have the least amount of crime.
Yes.
Because you don't want to fuck with somebody if you don't know if they're packing or not.
Missouri. There's a town in Missouri that just passed a law that legally everyone that lives in a household, or every household must have one AR-15.
Okay, that's a little much.
No. That's fucking rad.
Well, the only reason I say that's a little much is because I don't have the extra bare minimum $500 to put aside to get an AR.
Yeah, but
I don't have it.
Well, yeah.
And
I'm just saying, like, that's what you call the great equalizer right there. Whoever's in that town, you know, nobody's going to break in a fucking house if they know that somebody has an AR. I mean, AR, that's what pisses me off, is the anti-gun people are like, well, it's an assault rifle. No,
it's not.
No. It shoots the same shells as a hunting rifle.
Well, and I've actually had the arguments with people on both sides who are like, well, there's no firearm that's actually classified as an assault rifle. Like, you know what? Yes, you're technically right. However, the U.S. military has used the term assault rifle to describe
fully automatic weapons.
Exactly. Fully automatic weapons, and the only reason they call them that, it's a nickname, not a classification.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And actually, talking about bad cops and guns, I actually saw a video not too long ago of a chief of police somewhere, probably in fucking cauliflower-eating California, that held up an AR and went, "This has the capability of shooting 600 rounds in 1 minute."
That's a lot of rounds.
You gotta be able to you gotta be able to reload real quick.
I was gonna say, dude, you got a fast finger and some fast reload, brother.
Yeah, I'm like, as an officer,
are you belt feeding that son of a bitch?
Do you not carry a weapon because do you just want to throw a piece of cauliflower at the guy and hope he stops, or cauliflower pizza, bitch? Yeah. In other news, if you didn't have a whole lot other to talk on, I found out I read something very interesting that just shows how shitty EMS gets treated in the United States.
Go for it. I haven't read this. In
Washington, they are passing a law, or there is a law that they are trying to pass, that states that police, fire, and EMS post-traumatic stress disorder, and I've said this before, I'm a firm proponent to first responder mental health. You know, everybody, if you need help, go get help. Don't Don't let other
don't
people
try to muscle through it.
Yeah, don't let other people, talk down to you because you're going through a rough patch.
Exactly. You do what you got to do.
Washington is trying to make PTSD a work comp injury for full-time first responders. However, one of the legislators in Washington said that EMS and paramedics should not be included in the law because it is our responsibility to respond to traumatic events. Like,
did you just every first responder's responsibility to respond to a traumatic event?
You just talked yourself in a circle. So what the fuck are you trying to do? And there were, I want to say, like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 other senators were behind her statement on that. It's like,
yeah, that just kind of makes you think, though, like, what do they owe her?
Right,
you know what I mean? Like, somebody can't just make a blatantly stupid comment like that and have that many followers without them having some kind of...
Yeah, but it's also...
like, you support me on this, I'll support you on that. Like, was it called a quid pro quo?
Yeah, one hand washing the other.
Yeah.
But that really fucking pissed me off when I read that, because I'm like, if you're going to make something for first responders, just because we transport people and treat people on the way to the hospital, it doesn't mean we're the middle guy between the fire and the hospital. No. It's one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever read. And I was super excited for it when I originally read it, because I'm like, hey, they're actually paying attention to what's going on. But then I read further down.
It's one of those things where it's like a police officer responds to somebody who's coked out, and they are just an inch away from ODing. Who do they call?
EMS. Of course.
Exactly.
Fire.
Now, whose responsibility is it to handle that person?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I mean,
fire and EMS,
especially
except for now. Now a lot of police officers are carrying Narcan in their vehicles, too. So
yeah, I mean, we've
had
a discussion about that, which that's not really
the cops just slam Narcan all the time anyway. And actually, funny enough, I read an article recently that if you are a diabetic and you are in a certain type of diabetic ketoacidosis, Narcan actually reverses it. So, to a certain extent. So, if you just slam Narcan to everybody that's, unconscious, there's a 50-50 chance it might actually help. But there's also a 50-50 chance that it was a
kill them
drug or that it was an actual medical emergency.
Right.
And that's the shitty thing is, if a cop slams Narcan to a diabetic and it brings them out of it, and, they refuse a couple hours later, they're going to... They're basically going to go to a coma again. So, and it's hard to tell if they're in a good spot for that to happen. If they're alone at home, that's when you find them 3 days later looking like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's the shitty thing, is they shouldn't just slam Narcan to every unconscious. There should be a reason for it. Yeah.
The world's becoming a messy place, man.
It's getting fucking weird, dude. I've said it before, man. It seems like in the last 3 years, everything's just gotten stupid.
Yeah.
People get in trouble for things that they used to never get in trouble for. And it seems like everybody's just trying to make a reason for stupid shit to happen.
And the exact opposite's happened, too.
Yeah.
People aren't getting in trouble for the things they should be.
Yeah. Did you read that article about the... I don't watch the show, but the TV show Empire that films in Chicago.
Yeah, the dude that
Jussie Smollett or whatever the fuck his name is.
That had the 2 guys beat the hell out of him and pour gas on him, and
it turned out that he hired them to do it.
Yeah, didn't he pay him in a check or something like that?
And they were 2 extras from the TV show that he was working on too. They dropped all charges on him, like yesterday or today. Like, all felony charges were dropped. Because apparently his lawyer said something like, well, it's hard to be an African American in the city, and the working in the film industry is a very taxing profession, and everything was brought to light before the court case even began, so no one's going to be on his side, so all the felony charges need to be dropped. Motherfucker, that was filing a false police report times like 16.
Yeah.
And yeah, that pissed me the fuck off. I couldn't believe that they actually dropped everything. But that just goes to show you.
Let's just hope that karma is real and he can never get another acting role again in his life.
I don't even think he lost his job. I think they still kept him on.
Yeah, well, I mean, that might be contractual.
It's possible. Hard to tell.
So, I mean, we could be lucky because, I mean, shit, I've heard of actors and actresses and directors and producers and shit like that losing their job for less than that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Shit, there are certain actors and actresses you don't even think about. You're like, I have not heard about this person in a long time.
Yeah. They were probably a shitty actor or actress to begin with anyway.
Not all of them.
Hilary Duff. There's one you haven't heard from a long time.
Yeah, she's a stay-at-home mom now.
Is it really?
Yeah. That's why she left. She wanted to be with her kids.
Huh.
That's the last I heard, at least. Which, I mean, that's respectable.
Right.
Like, you know, that's pretty cool. That
Who was the one that was caught throwing a bong out of a hotel window?
Amanda Bynes.
Yes.
I was actually just throwing a name off the top of my head, dude. I've got no idea if that's accurate or not.
Fuck it, Air 5, send that bitch.
Yep.
Yep, Amanda Bynes. She was caught throwing a bong out of her hotel window.
Not even the worst thing that could have happened. I mean,
have you seen her these days, though?
Like, yeah, but when you have to
she's
compete,
rough, man.
Yeah, but when you have to compete with idiots like fucking Lindsay Lohan and
maybe it was
Paris
Lindsay
Hilton.
Lohan.
Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan, like all them, when you have to compete with idiots like that, like that's nothing.
Yeah.
Like step your game up, Amanda. I don't even know if it was really Amanda.
It might have been Lindsay Lohan. I don't know.
That sounds more believable.
I don't know if it was Lindsay Lohan. I don't know. I know that I stumbled across a picture of either Amanda Bynes or Lindsay Lohan not too long ago, and she looks rough, man. Like, the years have not been kind to her. So, sorry. Get your shit straight.
Honestly, there's one actor, I don't care how much shit he gets. I don't care how crazy he is. I'm still a fan of his.
Who's that?
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, fuck, man.
Dude, he cracks my shit up, man. That dude has gone off the deep end so many times. I will say, though, when he got arrested in, what I want to say, it was New York for hitting some guy.
Yeah.
I was 100% on his side.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because the dude said he was doing some protest, and the dude came up and took a picture of him, and as soon as the picture came out, he said something like Hitler did nothing wrong. Shia LaBeouf is Jewish.
Oh, no shit? Huh.
Yeah. He punched him right in his mouth.
Nice.
And I'm like, hit him again. like he got assault charges. He got arrested for that shit.
Huh. Actually, speaking of Shia LaBeouf, very short, because we got to wrap this motherfucker up. I saw a video of Shia LaBeouf apparently put a video camera on the side of a building somewhere, and most of, like, with something that was like anti-cop or anti-something, I can't fucking remember, but these like 6 or 7 like black teenagers came up and like completely refuted what Shia LaBeouf's argument was about whatever he was against.
What is going on?
That was weird.
It clicked out like 4 or 5 times right there.
It stopped. It like doesn't record when it does that.
Yeah.
So okay, let's wrap this bad boy up before we lose something. Thank you guys for listening. This has been another weird episode.
Yes, it is.
2A.
This is a lot more serious than we usually do.
Yes. Well, not really, because I'm naked, but
yeah,
it is what it is. You know.
His wiener's looking at me again.
Yeah, it's winking at you. Willie the One-Eyed Wonderworm.
This is the one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you guys for listening. We really fucking appreciate it. If you liked what we do, please let us know and send us questions or subjects that you would like for us to talk about in our stupid hour or whatever. Oh,
Sex has become all
I have a confession to make. This goes to how my brain damage is. I went to go to the store yesterday and went to put on deodorant and sprayed my armpit with shaving cream.
Oh, that's right, because you like being baby-faced.
That's yeah, fuck it. I
have a beard, he does not.
I literally looked in the mirror, saw the shaving cream in my armpit, and went, I am dumb.
I guess that has to come off now to start shaving your armpit. Just the one, though.
I like to be offset. Makes me more aerodynamic.
YOLO. I can punch faster with my left arm.
Yeah, if you have anything that you would like for us to talk about, topics, any questions, or just want to let us know what you think of what we're doing, please get a hold of us on our email at 107offduty@gmail.com, or you can get a hold of us on Facebook and Twitter at 10-7offduty. Yeah, do that because
somebody put a wellness check out on Just Tames.
Yeah, we haven't heard from her in a while. I feel bad. Also, go visit our friends medicelement.com and use the code medic18 for buy one get one free on their stickers, and they have some other awesome shit, so go check them out because I said so, and I'm a mean man. And also Level Zero, if you haven't seen them on Facebook, go fucking follow those guys because they're hilarious, and if you need memes for a meme war with your EMS friends, they will hook you up with whatever the fuck you need. They also have a coffee that you can get at Black Rifle Coffee. It's called GCS 16. So y'all should go to Black Rifle Coffee Company and buy some of their coffee or mugs or whatever else you want to make yourself a caffeinated fuck. And use the discount code 107offduty for 15% off.
Oh, and really quick, just add this at the end. I have not talked to you about this, so I apologize in advance.
Okay.
A buddy of mine just started Twitch streaming. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm not a gamer. His Twitch is called Catman91. No idea what he does, but it's video game related. So if there are any gamers out there,
are you sure it's not pussy related? Because it's Catman.
He has 2 cats and he loves them.
I don't know if I can support this man.
He's cool. I like him. He's like a brother to me. He's so yeah, just if you want to check out some new Twitch stream, I think he does a lot of like Titanfall and one of the new Madden game or something like that. Okay. That's what he's doing right now. But if you want to check him out, see what he's doing, there you go. Catman91, all one word.
And if you want to see what I'm doing on video games, you can't because I don't fucking Twitch stream. Ha!
And I don't play video games, so.
I was going to call you a nerd, but that does not compute. Okay, well, thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Farewell.